It's happening right now. Game number 1 on the way. MEETYOURMAKERS jumping down into the area of Sosnovka military base with Orange Snow and company seeming to make their way over towards Novo.
Oh yes, this is where we get to see if everyone's going to spread out nicely to start things off with here. As you can see, it's actually a nice split, right? This is a good start for the first map. I like what we're getting to see here. This is going to be quite an even spread across the board, but how far are some of these teams going to try and get themselves, and where do they want to end up?
We do see Wizards making their way up towards the area of Yasnaya. Seems to me like Drones Transporter and his teammates are making their way up there too. Also, Lacha and his friends down in Team 4, they're sitting down in the area of, well, just southwest of Yasnaya. Could be a little confrontation just waiting to happen.
Yeah, that's what we're going to look for early on, right? To see if anyone's going to go for that early fight, try and engage, or are they going to sit back and wait it out? And there's a little bit of a split here as well.
Ooh, and there you go. First circle shown immediately right off the bat. You saw Shift take some shots from School up towards Apocalypse, but not a whole lot more to it. Northeastern circle, though, look to see teams rotate out on the far eastern side by the water and maybe even cross all the way over on the northern side up by the river extremely early on. Jupe securing QUICKMATH. They've got to be happy with where they're located, setting themselves up shop in Severny.
Yeah, uncontested for them as well. Means they're going to be able to get a bag of loot to walk away with here. Easy positions for them to work off, and they can just kind of wait it out and see what's going to come around them. And there's quite a heavy contention already towards the circle. Some players are going to have to really rotate the whole way around here, especially MYM down there. It's going to be a bit of time for them to work into this, but they've got plenty to play for here. It's more about getting across and kind of the other teams they're going to run into who are a little bit closer onto it.
For sure. See, Orange Snow and company getting looted up here in Novo, sorry. They'll probably have, if not the longest, then close to it, distance up towards the circle. You see 2 minutes to go until that circle will start closing on in. So little time yet to go, but they do have teams just over on the other side. The guys from Desperado are doing a farm split, and also you have Snoopy and company from AVANGAR looting up in Milta. So they've got to figure how and when do we want to cross over here, because it's going to be a tricky road up towards the northern side of the map.
A little bit of close here for T-Bone. If he's not careful, he can find himself walking into a bit of a death trap. He's further away from the rest of his teammates as well, so he does have to be a little bit more cautious here. MYM, they've got military base fully under control. There's nothing really for them to worry about at this point. It's more the rotation that's going to have to come in. They've got plenty of time early on to grab all the loot they need, but it's coming back round into that because they're not going to have the information on actually where some of these other teams are. They're completely isolated away on the island.
Very much so. We did see 2 teams looting up Yasnaya together. Fortunately, no shots have been exchanged and no people have been down so far, so haven't really had any issues with that. Could be, as we talked about, if these 2 teams keep on dropping into the same city, believe me, sooner or later, they will be forced to run into one another. But at least here for the first game, they said, you know what, we'll go west. We're the Swarm, we'll go west. You can go east, guys from Wizards, and you can start looting over there.
Yeah, and this is at the moment, right? It's the who's going to go for these early engagements, who's going to go and try and push in once they do see the opportunity, or are they just going to go for that early safe plays coming in here? It is just that early waiting game we expect to see here, but it's who's going to go for the challenge. And especially, actually, within the circle, right, down to the kind of southwestern corner, right, there's 4 different squads in there. And that's where I can expect some of this early action might be able to kick off.
Yeah, you see Reciprocity looting a school and apartment split down there. And you have Memo and company, Siphon also down there looting up in Rostok. And then you have the guys in Team 4. They're looting a split in between Yasnaya and School Apps. It's not an area we see looted very often, but as we saw before, we had Swarm, we had Wizards making their way up towards Yasnaya. Plane didn't really allow for them to go anywhere else, so I think this is not where you'd normally see them go. They've kind of just settled for this because they realize, as you said yourself, well, there are 4 teams around us. I guess we can't really go anywhere right now. Fortunately, they are inside the circle, but we'll see how they manage to make their way out, because I think that Mithralius is the only one with a vehicle on their team. So in for a dangerous one. BenQ5 here making his way over the bridge as we talk about the guys from Sweaty Nuts.
What's really interesting here for the Team Kebab, they really split themselves up massively here. They've kind of gone on a big scouting mission. It's EFSA who went out straight from the beginning. He didn't even drop anywhere close to his teammates. He went over towards where the western side of the circle is at the moment, and then he's got one of his teammates over towards the east, and they're really spreading out, trying to see who's around us, what options have we got here. But the question that really concerns me is, what are they going to do if one of them gets picked off early? Because you are completely isolated. You probably won't even be able to rotate into kind of save your teammate there.
Not at all. You really, especially when you have these far and wide rotations, if you don't rotate as a bunch together, you have to make sure that by getting inside that circle, you make as much room for yourself as possible. If anyone comes up close to you, you gotta get them away, because you don't have your friends nearby. And believe me, especially with a kill every point system like the one we have here, people will go for the confrontation if they think they have the upper hand.
And already we're seeing the rotation come around from the different side here. Got the vehicles in. They're not playing that crazy game of stacking too many people in one vehicle, and that's what I'm always down for. Let's keep it safe. Let's keep it smart, right? How many times when we were doing Pi did I start to freak out just a little bit too much? Where I was like, yeah, let's stack everyone in one vehicle. No, please, let's not.
Don't do that. Don't do that. There are plenty of vehicles to be taken. Fortunately, it seems like most people have found their own. Little crate being dropped up on the northern side of the map, and also we have the guys in MFS and company. As you said yourself, team number 3 here, far wide in the spread. Unseen Shish and the other guys from Kebab, they are down on the, some call it pre-Yasnaya, outside of Yasnaya, just on the northwestern side of the lake there. Then you have a team far out on each side. But up here on the far northern side is an AUG that, well, I mean, if the circle keeps going up in that direction, might be taken. If not, probably not going to happen.
MSF, though, he could make his way there. He's, okay, split away from the rest of his team, but if a fight doesn't happen, he can just sneak up there. There's no one else around him.
I mean, had this been Counter-Strike, everybody would have been going for that crate.
If they knew it was the ALG, definitely so, especially with the current metas.
Nonetheless, you see the guys furthest, and not furthest in the south anymore, make that guys making up. There you go, guys furthest in the south. The guys from Unity just getting over on the other side here. You see Orange No trying to hold behind. He knows for a fact that MEETYOURMAKERS, or at least another team, was on the military island, and they want to make sure that they are not just behind them. Seems like they would continue their rotation. MEETYOURMAKERS here making their way over on the western bridge from Millie.
Yeah, they've got to be a little bit cautious there as well. Like we said, they don't want to come and fall into one of these engagements where their team's just waiting out for him. But this is interesting. One of the unique players has got himself stuck in there. He's kind of like in the midst of it all when they're trying to rotate round. It doesn't look like they're going to go and try and take that fight, but he really doesn't want to be in a position where he just gets picked off early on here.
Yeah, got to play it extremely safe, especially in the early stages of the game. I cannot say enough how important it is to keep you guys up and alive until those chaos circles, when you get to circle 5, circle 6. If you have just that one-man advantage in those scenarios, it's gonna, well, it's gonna up your chance to win those team fights by such a large margin.
No, I'm still very confused of what Team KEBAB'S trying to do here. We've got MFS still up towards the eastern side. AVANGAR actually kind of falling their way towards him now. And this is where it could get a little bit dicey for him. He's potentially going to get locked in on his own.
Look at this Memo somehow managing to get over to the compound, realize it's taken, turn around and get back without any damage done towards him. That was a very fortunate scenario for the guys from Sweatiness. And now actually the bit of a pull-up comes up anyway. People are going into the compound. Memo comes in, immediately taken down as Lenso secures himself the first knock of the game, first knock of the tournament, that is. And there goes Siphon saying, wait, there were people here? Turns around and tries to get away from there.
Yeah, you can see what was going on. He took some damage, but he will be able to stay alive. Going to take off a few more shots off towards the vehicle, but they are going to escape ever so carefully. He's dropped down on health once again. Oh, Memo with the knock there. He's just trying to back away, but he is probably going to get finished, and that's exactly what happens.
There you go. First point of the PUBG Contenders League has been given out to the guys from QUICKMATH. We'll see if they can get themselves some more. See Reciprocity rotating up around the northern side. New circle is just about to pop, so we'll see if it's going to benefit them. No, it will not. Now, they do have the chance to come down from the northern side, but that circle went back down south, and Yasnaya seems to be right in the middle.
Yeah, really nice for the Wizards team there. They're going to be thanking themselves. They're going to say, hey, look, we're in a good spot right now. We can just hold on to this. Haven't got to have the nice rotate for find their way in. That crate didn't seem to get touched either. I don't think we saw a single person. So that's just a lonely crate at the moment. But actually, we can see Reciprocity. They're going to start and make their way around. So there is an option here for it.
For sure, there you go. First team knock of the tournament. Expect to see a lot more of those coming your way. Roopsy unfortunately running over his teammate in Flower, but I'm sure there'll be a little clap on your shoulder saying, you know what, it's the jitters. You know what, we're all so excited. He accidentally ran his teammate over, and then I believe from here on out, they'll try not to do that again.
And this is what it comes down to as well, right? Little mistakes like that can be a thing that, especially in the early games, they've got to find their comfort zone again for it. There is pressure here. There is a lot on the line.
Now, we see with this area of the map, we just talked about Yasnaya being right in the middle. You see Unity here getting themselves heaven or backflip, whatever you want to call the compound here. But for some of these teams that are coming in late now, this area of the map is so open. There are only X amount of compounds available. And should that next circle include even just half of Yasnaya, believe me, more and more teams will be forced to go in there. We already have Drone Transporter and his guys inside the very center there. But if the next circle goes here, there's not going to be compounds available for everyone.
This is really interesting from Team Kebab. We keep coming back to them, but they're playing this on such a looser style. 3 players stuck together, MFS all the way up to the eastern side. But Wizard, they got themselves in a nice battle to start off with. Huge misses on these shots, though. That's not ideal. He should be able to tap that away.
Connell missing a few shots. Apocalypse trying to make the run on through the very middle here. Mithralius has gotten himself the very, very centered up Wizard here in the middle of everything. Seems like Apocalypse will live with this scare, so might as well be better off just blowing up the vehicle here now because, well, you won't be driving that again.
Yeah, don't want to be driving that again. That's too risky at that point. Reciprocity, though, they've worked themselves all the way around from the western side, back up over now, coming in through the east side. And again, they're going to come into this fight where it's so heavily contested at the moment, but they've just played it smart and slow and collective. And I think they just ran past the crate as well. No one seems to be too bothered by that.
Nah, why bother? You have a rotation to make. ELGIGANTEN, one of 4 teams so far, have made their way down towards, maybe not inside, but at least in the area of Yasnaya, setting themselves on shops in the northern apps. Terrain up there, trying to see if they can spot some people coming from the northern side. And again, should this circle go south, they might be in a good spot. We talk about how it's a kill-heavy point system. Doesn't mean you'll be going for kills, but it just means those free kills that you will be able to get on rotations and stuff. That's why you see the likes of Unity sitting on that bridge, waiting for teams. If you can get free points in a system that's this kill-heavy, that's what you want to go for.
Yeah, exactly that. Especially where it's only the top 8, they're going to get the points, right? Getting those extra kills in could be the difference between you actually placing higher than some of the teams that when they don't even make it through within that top 8.
For sure. QUICKMATH having found themselves up shop in the northwestern side of Yasnaya. Gonna be laying low there for a little while longer, at least for another 10 seconds until the circle closes on in. And then we have a team coming in here from the far, far, far northern side there, all the way up by Kameshki. Still have got quite a ways to run, and hopefully for them the circle will go north.
Yeah, and that's the difference, right? You can see these couple of teams, Reciprocity are well included in that. They've massively put themselves on the long game here, not going in for the kills, but taking their time, getting a lot of space to work with here. And it's actually benefited them massively here, as you can see how this circle has formed over towards this eastern side.
Yeah, exactly. You see how far in the eastern hardship is coming. It alleviates so much pressure from the city center, makes so much room on the east. So as little as Reciprocity had the circle center before, as much will they for sure have it now, trying to make their way further around on the right side, get themselves a good compound in the middle of everything. Woohoo! Gotta go fly. Mithralius trying to go on through. Gotta watch out though. That vehicle is low on HP, and O'Connell secures himself the second kill of this week's games. BESIKTAS now though, pulling up, and the guys from Desperado.
Yeah, big battle coming off here, and it's going BESIKTAS' way to start off with the knocks coming in. This is looking really strong for them. They're looking to put the end to it, and that's exactly what they're gonna do.
Got a lot of players down, not a whole lot of them remaining, all of BESIKTAS, with the exception of one player, I believe, taken out right there. That's Lux sitting all by himself now, but him not being able to peek this means that Calvin can get around and get both Fake and Tausera back up on their feet. He's now sharing the compound with 4 guys from Desperado. That is not going to be easy for him, because not only is he alone, but he's also on the edge of the circle.
And they rolled in there so confidently, right? It was looking like it was all going to go their way, but they've managed to hold on. They've only got one more player to find. Lux is heavily pinned down here. Got the nade in hand, going to throw it out, try and push a player out of position. It's all about what he can do to stay alive here, but he's completely surrounded, and there's not really a position he can go to at this point.
No, and for the guys from Desperado, they've got to figure, do we want to live with a thorn in our heel for a little while longer, or do we want to try and go over, push him, get him eliminated so we can make some more room for ourselves and play it safer? You see Nash, you see Smoke thrown, they want to make some pressure. Now it seems like they're all committed to the push. They know there's only one guy left, might as well clear him out.
Yeah, let's go and get the kills, right? This will be the 3rd kill for this team to try and push up into it. A lot of damage coming Lux's way. He's on 31 health, trying to spray it down as they push in. He managed to get the first knock, but that's going to be a hard task to do. They're coming from every single side, and BESIKTAS are eliminated. They will be your first team out of match 1 here for the PUBG Europe Contenders.
Important finish off coming in there, and gutsy play, honestly, coming in from the guys from BESIKTAS. They saw this is a compound on the southwestern side, not expecting people to still be there. A little bit of a miscalculation, unfortunate for them that they go down. Now, ELGIGANTEN, they have left the area of Yasnaya, but now they're shooting back towards the guys from SWARM. Well, SWARM has been in here for the entire game, so they're not seeming like they want to go. Circle's about to pop once again. Where, James, oh, where will we be headed?
Oh, yes, that's what it's all about. Time will tell. Reciprocity, they've put themselves in such a good position now. Actually, Team Kebab that was so split up, MFS has not had to move. He probably will have to move this time, unless he gets incredibly lucky. That would be the most lucky circle push he's probably ever had, because he's been sat there, what, for 2 circles now? Without really having to move at all. He's just been scouting out completely. But I'm still very concerned that he's just alone.
And now he for sure will have... Oh my... Are we actually doing this, guys? Is this going to be the... Is this going to set the standard for what we're in for the next 47 games? Are we having game 1 finish inside of Yasnaya?
That would be crazy. Yasnaya's been a huge focal point from the start, right, for a fair few teams. That's where everyone's still kind of grouped together. Reciprocity, they're in a bit of a battle over there towards the western side, but they could be sandwiched in between the 2 teams at the moment.
I think it was in the Korean League a few weeks, 1 week ago actually, that we saw 31 players live in the last circle in Yasnaya.
Wow.
Just goes to show how hectic it can become when all these teams are forced to go in. You see Ubican, the guys from Unique, doing some damage over to the guys from We Need a Home. A few knocks coming in there, but not seemingly any finishes. There you go, Raider does go down to Desperado now alongside the guys from MEETYOURMAKERS saying, you know what, there's only one way, and that's towards Yasnaya.
Yep, they're going to have to push in, and they're choosing the right side to do it on at the moment, right? They could potentially run into MYM, but on the kind of the far western side that they've gone here, there's no actual teams within the compound they're going to look to lock down.
Yeah, you see Unity here finally securing off some kills, but now it's going to be the guys in the Apocalypse Company trying to hold up Unity, making their run around the right side, right here up the hill. Apocalypse gets spotted out, Cizerin gets some damage done, but it's going to be Orange Snow in the end getting himself a knock.
Yeah, can they come in with the finishes here? Larza spraying away, manages to get the tag on, can't finish him off just yet. Spraying away, he's got to be careful though, this player sneaking up on his left-hand side. Takes some further damage and he can't hold on, he gets knocked down, and now his team have to be oh so cautious. Orange Snow quickly using that first aid kit, he knows he needs to pull off something huge here.
Oh no, Drast ran over his teammate! I was like, what's going on here? But Orange, no, he had a good push there. Teaserin pushing underneath, trying to get around to get the flank on. Really smart positioning. But now Blaston got knocked by his teammate. As Dastish and his teammate was trying to come in for the rest or for the help here. So that should leave Logipuff, at least for now, able to get the rest back. There you go. And kind of able to reset, but they are down to just being 2 guys alive.
Team Kebab, though, they're not having a good time at all. Some of their players being taken out completely there. They stayed up towards that north side. They've been playing very split. And look how far MFS is away from his teammate.
Looking for a team, they want to make their way around. They know that they had Cizerin down there just before. They said Orange Snow is down in the area, but do they want to push on this or not? Only 2 players live, and they are actually sitting on top of their vehicles. Could try and take them and get the hell out of here, but it's going to be now or never, because this circle is only going to get smaller, and now Drainies and company are trying to engage in this fight as well.
Yeah, going for the long range, he's taking a bit of damage himself. He's going to fall back just a little bit. Playing smart on the hill while the rest of this goes down. Reciprocity Scroom goes down straight away. Going to be finished off there as well. Wizards not looking to hold back just yet, still firing into this.
This is the issue. Coming into the final stage, there's so many teams in ES9 now. Everybody wants to sit on the edge so they can get those kills on people trying to make their way in. And there's just not room for anybody getting their way in. MFS tries to do the same thing. Finally, he's going to be taken down by BenQ5 as well.
And his teammate, Mr. Unseen, right up towards the north, has no chance of trying to come in and save him. So their hopes are dwindling right now, and he's just going to have to play the long game potentially for the points. Still 14 teams remaining, though.
Let's see here, Wizards trying to hold everyone outside the city. New circle, it's going to pop in just a few seconds time. We'll see whether it's going to go further inside the city or if it will go back out into the field for the sake of the game. And the match, I hope it goes out, but there you go. Logipuff trying to make a run for it. Doesn't work out for him at all. Down he goes, and in 14th place, his team will go. Just on the edge of the circle, though. Or just the edge of the city, I guess you could say. It's going to be Asnaya.
It is all the way. It is as we expected it to go. Now, the 2 teams playing on the furthest outside here. Kebab only obviously got Mr. Unseen left alive. And he's just going to be looking around and thinking, okay, what's around me? Could I potentially get a couple of sneaky kills here? What can I do to ensure that I can try and push in and just play the long game here? Because that's all he's going to hope for. Wizards, though, up at 4 kills at the moment. Aros looking for more. He's going to see through the smoke and see if he can maybe get a few shots popped off there.
I mean, Wizards is kind of doing the same thing they were doing earlier. They sat themselves up in the northern apps trying to see if they could spot anyone coming from the north. When they realized there's no one coming from the north, let's take the southern side instead. They rotated down towards the police station down there to try and see if they could get some kills. And now they might just be able to with the guys in Unity and Unique actually pushing in towards the area. Here, very, very rough little dip. They found themselves. 1 nade from Unique would be a full triple kill and a team elimination as well. You see Play With Me making the rotation push on up and over. They must hear the vehicles as well, and they're just laying down there saying, please, please guys, do not come over to us.
Yeah, they're looking to try and play that long game. AVANGAR, a team we've spoken quite heavily about at the moment. Very much pinned down.
Not inside the circle either. You see ELGIGANTEN just on the edge up there trying to do some damage, but it's going to be Maxisor with the knock on. Deeks could alleviate some pressure, but as you can see, both Starts and Hookstar, they're sitting inside the circle on the edge so they can hold their teammates while they're trying to make that push in.
Mr. Unseen has been spotted as he's tried to find his way in. They were looking for him. Alya GG looking to try and see where he's going to go next. If he can try and finish him off, he's taken multiple shots towards him. Drone Transporter is there as well. And Mr. Unseen, he's not going to be able to catch a break here. Everyone is looking for him to rotate in.
Yeah, so as much as he wants to be unseen, in the end he will go down to the circle. And that's going to be KEBAB'S taken out in 13th place. O'Connell we saw just before getting himself 1 more knock. So the guys from Wizards trying to do as much damage as possible. And then you have the boys in Team 15 out here in the northern side. I mean, they're sitting on the backside of the shack here. Not really a favorable position. They are in the circle for now, but odds are they won't be inside the next one.
Yeah, we're not too far away. Just over 30 seconds before we get into phase 6. Some further kills coming out here. And AVANGAR, despite them being picked off, because they were kind of just sat behind the hill, right, having to hold themselves down and anchor in, they've actually now been able to walk away with a couple of kills. And now they're going to start to rotate back around and kind of all group up here. Unique, though, could be the first team they start to run into.
Yeah, you see them turning around. They heard all the shots. They saw where they came from. And now as they heard the vehicles rotate around, they know there's one angle that we can spot AVANGAR from there where they won't be safe from anyone. And that's going to be down here trying to see if they can get around to get the corner. Swarm trying to cook the nade to perfection. Gets it down there and gets himself a knock as well. 6 gets himself a knock onto the other player there too, so that's going to be 2 guys down from Team 15 trying to make their way in, and all test is remaining.
And Wizards, constantly, they've been able to hold on to these compounds for the longest time, and they're just picking off players left, right, and center. Everyone is still having to come towards them. The circle is certainly favoring them, and they are even taking some further shots back onto AVANGAR, who's still yet to be able to push themselves directly into this circle.
You see Aldia, he wants to go for the aggressive plays. He has the drone pretty much in the name, trying to sit up there on the eye in the sky with the vision, but it decides to fall back. Smart play from him. Realize, you know what, I have the info, I don't have it anymore. Let's just go back, let's play it safe. We're still 4 guys up and alive. Let's play it for the later game, because the new circle has popped and it's going to start closing in real soon. Yasnaya is where we're going. Where will the next one go, though?
Alya's still now gone out of the compound, out of the building, trying to push himself around, wants to kind of find his way into a bit of a fight here.
See, MEETYOURMAKERS, they've been chilling here in the southern apps for quite a while now. They'll be able to do so for a little while longer now as well, but now it's going to be all up to AVANGAR making their way in. Full-on YOLO pushing, trying to get inside the city, and it's not looking good for them at all. In after them comes the guys in Team Unique. 3 guys and 1 US trying to make the 1 point, but Wizards, they're all over them.
Oh, this could be a huge name from Aros as well to come in. It bounces and it lands very strong, but doesn't manage to finish any players off.
Look at this play with me, sitting all by himself, getting the rest back up on to Upika. Nate's coming in, that's going to be 1 guy down. Now Unique actually losing 1 more player in the process here. Standing goes down.
Yeah, this isn't looking good for them at all. They're completely pinned down. 3 teams basically looking directly at them. The smokes are going to be vital in order for them to try and escape as another nade comes in, and Play With Me is the one that's going to eat it straight away. Now it's all up to Ubika to come in and try and just kind of hopefully pick some of them up.
Look at the split that Wizards have here, and there you go. Team Unique will be eliminated. Rough position to be in. Somehow Snoopy with this little tree is able to stay put in. He might just be able to get back up Maxisor as well. That would be very good for him, but nope, not gonna happen. O'Connell does see himself. That was like, I feel like we knocked 1 more guy out there, didn't we? And there you go, down he goes. So Snoopy is gonna be all that's left for AVANGAR.
Wizards again, it doesn't matter which way they get attacked from. They're in such a good position. They've been able to hold strong. The communication's clearly on point as well there, and the amount of kills they've had have been, it's probably, must be what, 7, 8 now?
Very much so, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you get yourself into a position like Wizards did. We talked about them sitting on the northern side trying to find kills. Now they go down in the south, do the exact same thing, and here it really works for them. Still 4 guys alive, plenty of damage done, and plenty of kills coming in so far with this point system. I'm just telling you, the earlier you can rack up the kills, the better it's going to be for your late, especially if you can get them without having to pay for it. Oh, almost there, Vinkwin. Shouldn't have had that second deal.
Time was a ticking, and that's going to be 10 kills for Wizards
That
now.
is a good
This
start.
is huge, and they're still up, and they're in such a good position. They're only now just having to rotate around a little bit to get into this current circle. And look at the position, though. It is favoring the remaining members of Reciprocity.
Yep.
Desperados are coming in as well at the same time from the western side here. This is going to be a good split, and MYM, they're still finding themselves in there. They're still getting further kills as Rubsy just takes down Blaston.
You see Orange Snow out here on the little patrol area, or the blockade, if you will, trying to see if he can find a way to get in. Probably realize, no, you know what, this is not going to be easy. Ooh, and Solenzo, M24 to the face of Vinquin, that's going to leave a mark, that's for sure. Taking his helmet off, and that's a helmet you really want to have when you come into these close quarterfinals.
Now a bit of the waiting game going on now. Who's going to make the first move to pop out and potentially get finished off here?
I mean, I don't think any of those guys are going to make a move at all. They're just on the edge of the circle, and we all know for a fact when you have a circle that's in the city like this one is right now, sit tight, wait for the circle to move. If you can stay inside your building, that's what you're going to do. There's no reason for you to try and peek aggressively because other teams will be fighting.
Wizards again. T-Bone, he's seeing everything. He knows what's going on here. Doesn't want to allow Hugstar and Z-Stars there to kind of move their way out. He's going to continue to scout around, and he's got so much information to work off of here as the rest of his team work their way in just from the edge.
I mean, T-Bone's been running around on the roof for quite a while. He's just been popping shots left and right. I mean, there's a reason that he's down to 60 spare ammo. People might say, well, that's pretty normal in a public game. Sure, but these guys, they're picking up 300 bullets if they can.
Yeah.
And believe me, he probably did in the beginning of the game, too. He's just been firing them all away. See Calvin taken down there as well. Test is really trying to make a run for it. Single player remaining, I believe, on his team. Got himself a good knock. Maybe they'll leave some pressure off. No, actually, I think Shushki is up there as well.
Orange Snow going to get picked back up, though. He'll be all right for a little bit longer to hold on to this.
And this is what's going to happen right now. Nobody's going to leave their houses. See it right now. It's pretty much set in stone where everyone's sitting. 10 seconds to go, though, until some teams will be forced to make that move, and that's when the chaos is going to come in. We still have 29 players alive, and that next circle is going to show you where the end game is going to be. So it's going to be extremely hard for any of these teams to do anything when it comes down to that if they aren't inside it. There you go, though. Circle has been popped. Reciprocity and the guys from QUICKMATH, once again, dead center.
And Wizards, though, they're just on the edge of it. They've got themselves still that building secured. They're in actually a pretty good position, but it's Reciprocity who have really worked out well here. Same as Desperados, who have already kind of started to come into it.
See, just about 25 seconds to go until some of these edge teams will have to make their way on in, and it's going to be up to the guys in QUICKMATH and the guys, two remaining players from Reciprocity, to really keep everyone at bay, because believe me, nades will be flying, people will be sprinting down towards you, and you got to keep your cool if you want to be able to stay alive.
MYM under some heavy fire, though, as they try to come into it. They weren't far away, but there's plenty of teams around to try and deny them getting in. Intense goes down. Drones Transporter, he's been firing off constantly from here. They're going to know exactly where he is, but he hasn't got to move quite just yet. Time is starting to tick away, but he's going to have to go soon. And that's it. That's how they get it done. They managed to get another team eliminated there, and this is going to be them looking very strong going into the rest of this. 9 teams left alive now.
Yeah, not a whole lot more testing company could do from up there. They knew exactly where they had them, and smart that THESWARM decides to stick around for a little while longer to secure themselves the kills before they push on forward. O'Connell and company now have to make a move out as well. They can stay inside the broken wall, but they will have to leave the comfort of the high ground.
And considering where MYM started off, right, all the way in military base, having to go for the long rotation round, they've put themselves in some very nice spots now. These circles have worked out in their favor, and again, they're just right on the edge. But Orange Snow, he's managed to still stick alive, right? He's pushing in with his team, just 2 of them left alive, and they'll potentially be able to get into this top 8.
Think about this. That's just what we're talking about, right? Talking about point systems and the way that your placement points work. We're still at a point at which the next team that gets eliminated gets a big 0 in placement points. Sure, it has something to do with this ending in a city. And there you go, center spot is where it's going to be. 5 seconds to go. And within this circle push, we will see what team will stay alive. 23 players spread across 9 teams in the very final circle here in game number 1.
Oh, and is that waiting game as MYM are going to take some... Yeah, MYM is the next team to be eliminated, so they're only going to walk away with whatever kills they've managed to have. Desperado still putting up numbers on the board as well, as the Swarm goes down in 8th, so they're just going to walk away with 1 point now.
They just all died to the circle. None of them managed to make that run out. Stars going down here as well. Wizards trying to make that run and getting T-Bone back up on his feet. Not sure if he's going to be able to do that in time. We'll have to wait and see. That circle is just on the edge. You gotta start moving, gotta get over that broken wall. And Hookstar, he's just waiting for them to crawl on over.
Oh, no.
The timing, the smoke comes in. Did he realize they were there? Spots one, there you go, gets the shot's connected, but not enough. What's gonna happen? No, Hookstar goes down. We're down to just 5 teams.
5 teams and Wizards still putting up the kills, still finishing them off. Desperado's trying to push their way in now, and they can't afford to take this circle damage. It's just far too much. Unity get eliminated. They're going to be finishing up in 5th place, and it's all hell breaking loose right now with just 4 teams and 13 players left alive. Calvin Klein, he's completely going to be finished off there. They run in. They're not going to allow him to get picked up, and Desperado just not looking good for them.
And there's no stopping to this circle. It's not going to take a breather at all. It's going to continue climbing its way to the very dead zero. Somehow, Raffi and Shiv are staying put in that single house. It's going to be the closest point to the circle center. They will have to, though, if forced to, get out of that compound late when this circle comes so close. Raffi now taking down Shiv. Might just be able to go for the rest, but we'll see. QUICKMATH, they're going for the push.
Got to be careful. Shiv getting a little bit of a knock going on there. Finishes off Aros, who's been such a heavy hitter. T-Bone's gone down as well. Just 2 teams eliminated, and Wizard, they've gone down despite how many kills they got. Shiv's trying to hold on. They're pushing 1 by 1. Why would you play it like this? 1 by 1 is not the way to do it. 16 health in a dream. He's going to pop the first aid kit. And Shiv, he's still holding on. This is insane.
What is going on? Shiv is all alone. He's holding off 4-man Storm from QUICKMATH. Why are they doing this? And Solange gets spotted. He's getting down as well. Can he do this 1v4? Shiv all by himself wants to get the finish off. It's points that matters. Shiv, Pelsish, one-on-one. Pelsish is outside. He's going to wait for him to vault out the window. Does he spot him? Does he see him? He does, but it's not going to be enough. Pelsish and QUICKMATH secures the win. Holy moly, what a start of the tournament.
Shiv, what on earth just happened? Like, he was gifted so much then.
Wow.
They just rolled straight into him 1 by 1 through that doorway. Despite what was going on, he was still able to hold strong. What a good play from him, but just towards the end, it wasn't enough.